Alright, in this video I'm going to show some of the advanced bash trick which I have stumbled over on the internet and evaluated it myself. Okay, so without further ado, let me get into I'm inside my Emacs. Let me open my note file. And here it is. This is a markdown file, and let me generate the web page of it. Okay, so now I don't need this. Let me open a file instead. Bash programming tricks. Okay, so I have opened a shell script. Don't worry, that header line is get fed by one of the macro I have defined in the system. So once I provided a .sh with a file name, it gets automatically inserted. Anyway, on the right hand side, these are my notes, and I'm going to go over all of them one by one, and I'm hoping everything will work so I looks cool. Okay. Okay, so let's start with to debug a bash script. There is certain step as an user you can take, right, to make. If you write bash script, mostly people write bash script for a long time for different reasons, sitting on an open system to get the best out of it. There is some sort of way, and that thing is doing scripting, whether it's bash, whether it's shell, whether it's Ruby, whether it's Python, whether it's whatever the language is. But time to time people generally write to get the best out of it. Okay, so in this case I'm focusing on bash. Apart from a shell, it has got its own it has got its own language with their own syntactical stuff, and I'm hoping people are a little familiar with it, because whatever I'm going to show not always used by everyone. I learned it much later, so I thought it would be good time to share with people. Okay, that's the whole purpose of this video. The first is debug mechanism. If you write any sort of programming, it's not about bash, any programming, to know how to debug, it will give you a edge over others, because while debugging you have to have the understanding of the little bit of internals of the specific programming language you are going to use or are using. Okay, so first thing first, you need to provide this particular statement. You can see there is a different level of prompting, and this is clearly exporting PS4. PS1 is your main terminal prompt. Okay, likewise PS2, PS3, and this is PS4 because it will be providing debugging prompt. Okay, and this is calling bash. So these are the predefined internal variable in bash. This func name, this line number, this bash source. Okay, shvl, bash shell, these variables are predefined in bash. So what you have to do as a first step, you put this line inside your bash shell configure, which is bashrc file. Likewise, what I did, let me show you, let me open up it, let me show you that sorry, here is that. You see, you can see, right, the last line I have put the same thing in my bashrc, which is supposed to be on GitHub. If you configure it out here, you can check out my bashrc file in .file repo in GitHub. Okay, so the point is that I have also included it in my bashrc. Likewise, you need to do that. Okay, all right. So the first step to include this export into your bashrc file. The second one is you need to set inside the script you are writing, set -o x trace. Likewise, if I write set -o x trace, this should be top of your script. Okay, it will help you to provide the debugging statement if the program you are trying to execute throw an error. Okay, so it will help you with the message. PS3 will give you some sort of hierarchical, say for instance, again let me open a terminal, let me show you how you can see PS3 py3, right? If I take any of the 4041, say for instance if I take this PID and if I do PS3 and then I see this is how the i3 started in my system. I started from the terminal with the help of startx. Okay, so PS3 is basically process tree. If a process goes through a number of steps to become accessible, if you run the PS3 again against the process ID number, you'll get a chain of execution of process like this. If you want to see these are the option you might opt for to look out for different output what PS3 probably provide you. So this is a handy tool if your program is hairy enough or calling n number of stuff from some other place or by itself, you could find it out running this tool. Okay, so it will be a good help for you to get where your program is stabbing. Okay, all right. So and the step 4. So again, these are all safety check parameters. This will allow your program to react different situation. Okay, so I'm just copying pasting from my note file. These things I'm doing by hand, but you could easily write easily write a macro or something like that. So once you open the .sh extension file, so these things get automatically inserted in the file. Absolutely trivial task. You just enlist it in a file and call that file while you a single simple entry in vMercy or whatever your editor is to or if you're sitting in Emacs like what I'm doing. So it's very easy to do, infuse all those stuff. Okay, now there is some aid in a sense. Say this is a print function especially designed to spit out if something goes wrong, so it can provide you the line number, the function name, okay, in a proper way, so the debugging become much more easy. Okay, all right. So the next is you can use this particular statement inside any loop to find out. Say if you say user input, right, and if you want when the script run, if you provide the user input, then you can find out whether the whatever the user have entered is numeric or not, or you can taste again the numeric value whatever the user going to enter along with the script when they are trying to execute, right? Say I should have okay. So this is a tilde expression which is basically directing to match against. This is regex, which is basically allowing to end numeric value. So if you declared a variable like this, and if you call up this variable in one of your loop or function, you could have easily checked against whether the user has inputted a numeric value or not, right? This $1 means first argument to the script. This script where we are writing, if we call it from the command line with a value, and if you want to check the user have passed a numeric value or not, you could do so by writing this particular statement inside a loop to find it out. Okay, this is simple regex with check end-to-end numeric value. Caret is the beginning of the line, then we call up the numeric values, then this is anything related to that asterisk means, and dollar is the end of the line. So it's specifically looking for a numeric value. Okay, so next is, this is a bash way of doing uppercasing a particular, say for instance if I declare this variable with the value what the heck, and and if I write this statement to print out, okay, to print out the value I have passed to this variable bash uppercase, it should be converted into a, if whatever the value. Okay, I have clearly given a lowercase value, right, to this particular variable. You can see I have written, my cursor is hovering, written in lowercase. Now you see the two caret symbol adjacent to the variable name. That means it is instructing Bash to convert it to a uppercase. Okay, to see that how it look like, I'm hoping it will work properly. Oh, sorry, let me save this file first, and then if I run Control C, Control X, and see, why it's saying permission denied. Okay, all right. Now, okay, it's erratic. Why it is giving me this error? I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. I'm supposed to sometime I made silly mistake. You can see there is no point. Because five. So if I save this, if I try this now, see, now you can see it is executed right? But oops, but it says it throw an error saying func name out unbound variable. Okay, look like I have given a too stringent criteria that it is started to okay. Now it is behaving properly. You can see I have commented out some predefined variable which probably imposing some sort of stringent criteria. That's why it is failing to go ahead. Now I have commented out those predefined variable, but I'm doing it for the demo purpose. But if you write serious kind of bash programming, you should consider these variables to be included in your script file for the future endeavor, and you should include all those stuff. Now if you see on the bottom window, you can see it converted the lowercase value, okay, this value into a uppercase with the help of this. Okay, this is a bash specific way to uppercase a lowercase value. Okay. Okay. Now similar way, if you do lowercase stuff, say I have written a variable which is in uppercase, you can see the value. Now if I do this particular thing to print out the value, you see there is a 2 comma attached with the variable. To uppercase you need to add 2 carets. Okay, for lowercase you need to add 2 comma. If I save this file and if I run it, see, you can see that it has out. You see my cursor is hovering. I have inputted it with a capital letter word. Now it is spitting me back with a lowercase letter, right? So if you run this kind of thing without calling some other means, your bash script will certainly run faster, because you are trying something which is very native to the bash language. Okay, so these are the native way of doing stuff in bash. Okay, alright, the next is array index iteration. Say for instance I have an array like I've declared array like this. Okay, and I run a for loop like this. Okay, so basically it assigned to, as you can see, we are getting the index of this hash predefined to the array variable, which signifies we want to get the index of it. Okay, and then we'll print out the index. As simple as that. Let me save this file and then run it. And you can see these are all the extended debug statement which is happening because in the top of the file we mention set-xtrace. Okay, so this is happening like this. It will give you each and every step. See, it iterates over the array and provide us the index of it. Okay, so if I mark it and I'm commenting out because of different reason, okay, so next is, if we don't want to get the index, array without index, if I do, I could have easily changed the previous for loop, but I want to make sure that you will get the distinction right. If you look closely, we haven't given the hash value which signifies the index. Okay, as you can see from the title, array without index. Okay, if I save this file and if we want to run it, yes, the previous. Now if I go to the other window and if I see it will show me. Okay, so if I run this command again, Control C, Control X, and if I go to the other window, now it is showing me the stuff without the index. Okay, all right. Now if I want to take the specific index, then we have to do it like this. Okay, again, if I save this and if I run, you can see it says, if you look at the for loop, it says skip the first one. Okay, that's what this syntax means. Okay, that's what it does. The first one is what in the array, it's C, right? You can see it skipped the first one and printed the rest of the tree. You can see my cursor is hovering on the output window, right? All right. I'm just commenting out all this stuff because I don't want the output to get cluttered, because I'm putting all these things in a single file and execute it again and again just to show the different stuff. I'm commenting out the stuff that the next time I execute the script, the previous step what I'm shown to you will not repeat it. Okay, that's the purpose. That's why I'm commenting out the stuff which I have shown to you. Okay. I'm sorry. To add a specific number element, okay, to get the specific numbers, and if I save this and if I run, we can see you can see it says clearly skip the first and last one. So what it return only the middle two. Okay, so let me let me comment it out this, because I have already, because it seems the output is getting clobbered with the previous thing. Okay, now I have commented what I have shown to you, so the output will not get clobbered. Okay, here is one. So if I run, oh sorry, I haven't saved it. Okay, now if I running this again, and if I go to the other window, you can see it is only showing skipping the first and last one. Okay, all right. Now, so this is the kind of stuff. Okay, I'm skipping this one because if I get a chance I'll show you. That's trivial one. So let me show you. This bash has got something called map, which is nothing but a key value pair. Okay, and this is how you declare a map. Okay, where you give a first, it could be anything. I just simply wrote it like that. Okay, for you to get to understand it properly. Then I run a for loop, okay, and then I print it. So let me do that. Save the file. Now if I do Control C Control X, and if I go here, see, you are noticing that the statement debug what it is doing, it is every line it is showing, right? It prints the last name and first name. This is the simplest possible mapping. You could have done much more complex thing. I'm showing it to you for your understanding. Once you get a grasp of it, you can manipulate it and play with it. Okay? Alright. So now start and end with uppercase and lowercase. So you can clearly see I have declared a variable, and I'm calling the variable and provided a caret symbol attached or adjacent to the variable, so it get the uppercase, and if I attach a comma, it will show you the lowercase. Let me save this file, and you can see from the bottom window how the output will look like. The first one is certainly uppercase, the first letter, okay, of the variable, and the second one is lowercase, the first letter of the variable. Okay, now say I want to make a specific character. Say you can see I have assigned the variable with the word mastermind, and I want the letter S to be capital, to be uppercase. Okay, so if I save this file, see, you can see that letter S, okay, is capitalized. Both the S letter are capitalized. All right. Now specific character lowercase, like the uppercase version, this is for the lowercase. Why it is bothering me? Okay, if I save this, if I run it, see, you can see the specific character. I have mentioned this character here, right? You can see, and I make that aim should be lowercase, right? So it's showing the aim is lowercase. This is a bash specific way of lowercasing. Okay. Now you can do so with regex. Like this. You can see I have assigned to a variable all uppercase particular, but I want to filter it out, the particular letter out of it. Okay, so if I do that, you can see I'm lowercasing the specific whatever I have mentioned here. I have mentioned here to get lowercase, but you see the first word is stay as it is. So here means I'm specifically targeting a word which is supposed to be displayed as lowercase. Alright. Now, so case match inside loop. Okay. So this is a variable which is assigned to a word tel. Then I call up a if loop where the variable should be matched will be with that capital letter tel. Okay, and if it is matched, it will be showing matched. If it is not matched, it will be saying not matched. Okay, so if I save this file and run, see, it's saying it matched. You can see, right, on the look, my cursor is hovering, right? It says it matched because, as I shown to you previously, two character attached with the variable which is clearly a lowercase one, which is not going to match with the tel capital, right? That's why it spitted out match. I'm sorry. These are the small thing, but which makes a lot of difference while you are deep into. Likewise, you can do the same thing with same thing to make it uppercase. And it is clearly saying it is not matching. Okay, you can see what it spitted out in the output window. I'm highlighting it. Okay, because we are trying to match with the uppercase A against a smaller case A, so that's why it's not matched. As simple as that. Okay, So here is a function which could assist you if you write complex bash stuff. If you call this particular function in any one of your declared function, it could provide you the trace output. Okay, if something goes wrong, if something not appropriate, it will enlist you or provide you all the information related to that. You likewise you call printf, or I mentioned print in the top of the file in the very first. Like similar, this is just a function with more debugging information in it. If you call up this function inside your function, it will provide you the more elaborative debugging information in the output, which will help you to debug the cause which might be causing your program to halt or do something erratic or something else, right? It's easy to trace it out. Okay, this is a very well-known trick. So you can in fact write this in a file to get the status of it. It could be anything. I probably have a file like that. Let me show you. Let me bring up and if I if I do, see, the output would be like this. You can sense it that you could use it in different purpose also. It is simply reading from the file descriptor number 3, where it puts all this. Okay, so these are generally stuff which you probably consider using if you are deep into bash related programming. Okay, so to give you the last thing, I have enlisted these are the reference, and a lot of stuff's taken from these places. So while you're practicing all this stuff, give them the credit, whoever is posting all this stuff. Okay, last one is a renowned person one, probably other two also, because I am not so familiar, but I found their posting is informative enough, so I get stuff from them. So these are the URL you should visit to know more about it or get more about bash related stuff. I just shown you some of the very rudimentary although essential stuff. If you do lot of bash related programming or write lot of script, these things might help you to do better in bash related stuff. All I can do, I can host this file the file on the right hand side, this file where my cursor is hovering, in one of my GitHub repo, so you can look at it at your leisure and try to practice it or visit the references mentioned here. Okay, I'm going to put it up in a repository called collected notes, which is on GitHub under my username. The repository name is collected notes. If you go there, I'll host this file. Okay, I'll push this file once this video is complete, so you can have a look at it at your leisure and practice it whatever mentioned here, or visit those references I mentioned. Okay, I hope I try to do it in a very slow manner so you can get a grasp of it, sense of it. Okay, if I fail to provide you the correct information, it's probably because of my lack of understanding. To make more sense about it, you will look into this file and try it yourself, plus visit the references I mentioned there. You'll find it, I'm telling again and again, in the GitHub. There is a repo under my name called collected notes. I'm going to push this file there. I hope this will be useful to some people. Thanks for watching.